Lamar, would you flip 2 ones and pay him
in a heartbeat? Fully guaranteed.
Fully. Seriously.
Yeah, take it.
In a heartbeit.
In a heartbeat. It wouldn't even hesitate. But I know
the way that the last 2 seasons have ended doesn't concern you.
Doesn't concern me one bit.
Why?
Were you in? Remember when the Rams a couple years ago went to Los Angeles? They played the Rams. The Rams were kind of hot, and
went to Baltimore. You mean?
No, Baltimore came to here
Yeah.
and they played in the Coliseum. It was a couple of years ago. When I saw him then,
yes,
that was his MVP year.
Yeah,
and I was at 24,
2019.
Yeah, or 23 or 24 years old he was.
Yeah,
the best player I've ever seen in my life. 4th and 4, they go for it, and he gets 6 yards.
Yes.
Like, scrambled, had a 30-yard run, threw the ball well.
Yes.
And he's only gotten better throwing the ball every year after that. I know he's missed some games, and that's going to happen with his style of play. And as a coach and as an owner of a team, our job is to coach around that to make sure we keep him healthy.
Mm-hmm.
But at the end of the day, that's an exceptional talent. And we just talked about it. In order in the AFC to have a chance, you got to have one of those guys, and this one guy comes available in his prime, I'm going to make it work. I'll figure it out.
If you're the Falcons, you flip the 8th overall pick for him right now.
Right now.
And next year's first.
Well,
and pay him $230 million guaranteed dollars and have every owner in the league look at you and say, what are you doing?
Trying to win.
Got it.
That's what I want to do. Winning cures everything.
You're the Carolina Panthers. You do the same thing, 9th overall pick.
Oh, yes.
Raiders, 7th overall pick.
We just let go of a guy that we were given X amount of dollars to, so, yeah, I'm going to do that too.
Okay. You're the Colts, 4th overall pick.
Yep, I'd do that with the Colts too.
Okay, if you're
if I was the Bears, if the Bears, I would
exactly.
If I was the Bears and I get an opportunity, now I don't think that would work out because I'm sure Lamar wouldn't want to go there because they're trying to build their roster. But even if I'm the Bears and I have Justin Fields and I've seen what he could do, I'm still going to trade him a 1st-round pick. And
you trade the 1st overall pick.
Oh yeah,
and not trade down and maybe make a killing and get 1st over the next few years. Seriously, this is because this is part and parcel of the conversation that we're having. Just all things being equal, I get the 2019 Lamar, I get the 2020 Lamar, not the Lamar the last 2 years that he got hurt. I don't have to give up 2 firsts, and I don't have to pay him every last guaranteed dollar. Then I'm all in.
Right.
If I have to give up. Pay him every last guaranteed dollar. Now I'm having a hitch in my giddy up, and I have to now give up 2 ones. I'm now walking to the altar. I'm not running to the altar. Do you see what I'm saying?
I see what you're saying.
So it's not all things being equal. And if you're the Chicago Bears, you're giving up the ability to trade down once, if not twice.
No question.
Get a bunch of picks to supplement your guy that you already know, as opposed to just blowing up every plan that Ryan Poles may have had. So that's why I'm kind of pushing back right here with you're easily just saying, absolutely, I give up that stuff.
The reason I say that is there's no one in college, even Caleb Williams at USC.
Yes, sir.
Is clear. It was not even close to what Lamar was when he was in college or where Lamar is now as a player. And so that's how you look at it. It's like, okay, is this guy in the draft? Like when the Rams gave up 3 first rounds for Matthew Stafford,
yes,
their thought process was, could we get a Matthew Stafford in the draft in any of these situations? No. So it just makes more sense to go get it. And even if I'm the Chicago Bears, this is again no disrespect to the players that are on Baltimore, but they probably have a better receiving core in Chicago than Baltimore has. If you're talking about just pure receivers.
Careful, Rashad Bateman.
I know he was very upset. He was hurt this year. He had a great year, but he got hurt.
Mm-hmm.
So they're using Duvernay, Robinson, who they got from the Chiefs.
Maurice Jones-Drew. I called the Week 15 game between the Ravens and the Browns, and I was in commercial break, staring at the ceiling, talking to the football gods, praying for a first down, if not a point on the board.
And that's what. And so, if he's able to, win with that.
Okay.
If I have a little bit more, he should be able to win. He should be able to do much better. And I think, and as the Ravens, they understand this, and we're having this conversation. And I was on Total Access with Mike Garafolo, and I was like, don't give me the Garafolo answer, give me the Jeezy answer. Like, let's be honest, the Baltimore, whoever negotiates with Lamar, Baltimore's going to match. Because why would you let this guy walk? It makes no sense. It literally makes zero sense to let a homegrown talent that you drafted 32nd overall, that has been one of the most wingest quarterback since he's been drafted in the league,
Yes.
most dynamic players, and you build an offense around him to let him leave and someone else get him. I'm just not going to do that.
Unless you look at one of these kids at the combine and you could get a first-round selection and choose one of them and start from scratch.
Neither one,
and not pay somebody all that money. They're already, Maurice. They're already. Again, this is a devil's advocate thing because, as you know, I've been reading a lot of these responses to the videos that we've put out based on the conversations we've had. That I've made a heel turn on Lamar. That I've loved every single thing about him. I just have some spidey sense going off about why he didn't finish the season.
Right.
Where was he in Cincinnati? I would need to have every question answered before I went and guaranteed every dollar in his contract.
No question.
So that's why, again, this is not an all things being equal. Would I want the 2019 Lamar or the Lamar of say that game against the Bills this year that they wound up losing at the end? The game against the Dolphins, I think, that they wound up losing at the end. He looked like the MVP of the season in the first month of the year. So that's my whole wind up of saying that maybe, just maybe, you would start from scratch and have to pay all that money.
That's going to be a tough deal to do, though.
And go for it in that respect. But they do love him,
I agree. My thing is this: the longer you wait, the more expensive he gets. Burrow's up this year; he'll be getting the deal done this year. Jalen Hurts will get one. Herbert will get one. That's 3 dudes who are all going to be in the 50, 60 million a year deal. The longer you wait, the more expensive he gets. And if he isn't your guy, trade him. Don't give him the nod. Like, go and trade him if you don't believe that he's your guy, because this is what the biggest thing. I remember being in 2007, we went to the playoffs. 2008, we hit free agency. We paid 2 guys in 2008, and we had like 5 guys in our locker room that we didn't pay. And kind of fractured our locker room a lot. Not kind of, it did that year. Because you went outside of it. And as players, we know guys that deserve to get paid, right? Because you see them every day in practice. You know their skill set. To me, the longer this takes, the chances are you're fracturing your locker room. And then the chances are you're going to have to pay more in the long run anyways, because what if he does the Kirk Cousins deal, right, where he plays on this tag and he plays on the next tag? Now you're going to have to give him a fully guaranteed contract. And then let me put this notion out there, because I've tried to put it out there a little bit. Yes. Everyone's upset with the Browns about the fully guaranteed deal.
They're already redoing it. That's the whole point. That was I kind of lost my place a little bit. The Browns are already asking Deshaun Watson to restructure.
Oh no, yeah.
And I think he's entertaining it, right, Chris? Didn't we hear that out of Cleveland?
Mary Kay reported that earlier this week.
So the deal that apparently Lamar is holding out for, and the Ravens refuse to give, Cleveland is already 1 year in. Wondering if it's workable.
They had to get him first, right?
Yes.
Mahomes does the same thing with his deal. Every year he restructures.
Got it.
And whatever that means to
so it's not an outlier.
It's not. Everyone does it when you get paid that money. But I think when you talk about Lamar and what he's been able to do, and what I was going with is the Vikings are the one that kind of started this precedent with Kirk Cousins.
Yes.
Right? You give Kirk Cousins 2 fully guaranteed deals.
It was 3 years, $84 million.
Right.
And then Watson pushed it up 5 to $230.
Yeah.
With all sorts of other garbage that the Browns
they had to
overlooked, placed aside.
No question. And so if you're Lamar, you don't have that baggage.
Correct.
If you're Lamar, you've been an MVP. If you're Lamar, every year you've played, you've gotten further in the playoffs. And it's just like, to me, it's like, and people always say he needs an agent, he doesn't need an agent. Like, when it comes to quarterbacks, you're slotted. Your performance kind of puts you where it needs to be. Like, I don't think the Bengals are going to be like, Joe Burrow, you're not worth $50 million. Like, Joe Burrow's going to get what he wants. Jalen Hurts.
What a fascinating offseason. Catch the Rich Eisen Show every single day on the Roku channel, 12 to 3 Eastern, for free.